Hey everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So welcome to my mold making room. Yes, I am in a different room. This is the room where I package all my packages that you guys order from my eBay store, and I also make all my molds in here because there is just no room in the resin room anymore. So I have taken over most of this house, but we won't remind Dawn about that. So I want to show you, a lot have asked if I can do a video on how to make a mold, and I do have one out there. I have a couple out there, but I figured all the new people who have not gone through my channel, I'm going to do it again. So my mom gave me this cute little crystal glass, and she thought maybe we can make a mold out of this. I don't know what this is for. She doesn't even know what this is for. It's kind of like a fancy shot glass, a little wider, or maybe we thought holding your daily pills or whatever. So this was a cute little mold to do. So I figured I'm going to do this on a video for you guys. So before you start, just make sure whatever you're using is clean. Now I do want to let you know, since I got into mold making, there's a lot of things I have learned. One, glass is the best, or a ceramic that has been fired and glazed. You have to have a shiny surface. It just will not give you good results if you don't have a shiny surface. So the best ones I have are made out of glass. The other thing you have to make sure of, there must be one flat surface on there. This is the flat surface we're going to use to do this one. If there are no flat surfaces on which you're molding, it is extremely difficult without cutting your silicone apart to get whatever it is out of your mold. So those are the two biggest tips I'm going to give you for molding a mold in silicone. Now the other tip, if you're doing something 3D like this one and it's not like flat like a coaster, you're going to need an extra soft silicone. So this silicone is called A0, and that's the softest silicone I think that Let's Resin makes. I use Let's Resin brand because I just like their brand. Then you're going to need a mold housing. So my normal ones that I use and make your stuff out of, I had a 3D printer print the mold housing for me so I can reuse them over and over and over again. So this one I'm just going to use something that you guys would have in your house since you don't have 3D printers, and I just have this old cottage cheese container, little plastic container. So you want something that's bigger than your item, yet still room around the item so you have space for the silicone to actually make the mold. So this one fits pretty well, and I needed more of the height because it could have been just a tiny bit narrower, but I don't have a whole lot to choose from that you guys might have in your house. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to want to make sure this sticks to the bottom of that without coming up. It could float. Glass will float in silicone. It has happened to me a couple of times, and it's very frustrating to have to redo a mold for that reason. So I have my heat gun. It's all heated up. What I'm going to do is put a nice piece of glue at the bottom and adhere it straight to the bottom of this container and let that glue dry. And then while it's drying, which doesn't take long, don't, mess around with your container once you have that in there. Then you'll mix up your silicone. So let me go grab that. I'll show you what I'm using for my 3D molds and we'll get that mixed up. So I have several different silicones that I use depending on what kind of mold that I'm making. So this one, because like I said, it's the 3D, this is the one I'm using. Unfortunately, it doesn't come in bigger than a 35-ounce container. This is hardness, as you can see, 0A. So this is extra soft so you can get those things out. Now you mix this 1-to-1 by weight. So this one is not by volume, so make sure you have a little kitchen scale you can weigh it. I'm just going to guess on this one, and I'm going to mix up, I'm going to start with 10 ounces. Now this silicone is quite expensive. If you can get it on sale, it'll probably be about 80 cents an ounce. 80 cents to $1 an ounce. So yeah, I only want bigger ones because I use it all the time. You may obviously not want bigger ones if you're just going to make a few random molds. So I'm going to measure 5 ounces of each one by weight on my scale over there. And then I mix it for 5 minutes. I don't cut any corners. I don't want to waste $1 an ounce if that's what I'm paying off sale. So I mix it for 5 minutes. They say 3 to 5 minutes. I mix it for 5 minutes and I time myself. And then I'm going to throw it in my bubble remover to get all the bubbles out. If you don't have a bubble remover, it's okay. It should degas on its own, but you have the chance of getting bubbles in your mold if you don't run it through. Now the Resiners one that I use for my resin does an amazing job on the silicone, and it does it in about half the time that it does the actual resin. So I am just going to get this mixed up and run it through my bubble remover, and then we're going to get it poured in. Hopefully this will be enough. I mixed up 3 ounces each, 3 ounces of A and 3 ounces of B. So total right now in here, I'm going to have 16 ounces. So that just goes to show you how much silicone it takes, even for just a small little item. And that's plenty. So I'm not going to, I probably used 15. I don't need to fill it any more than that. So then, you know, if you're going to make more than one, just write that down so you only mix up how much you need. Now, if you are going to use your heat mat, which I am not going to today, cover it so your heat stays contained and it will cure even faster. But just because I don't know about this housing and I don't want to ruin it, I'm going to try to save it and not cut it open to get it out. So I'm not going to turn my heat mat on, but you do whatever you want to do and see if it works for you. So we'll be back as soon as this is cured. All right, it's been a couple of hours. It is rock hard. I did not use my heat mat. It did not take that long. So what you're going to do is just going to go around this whole edge and just kind of break that seal that it has. You can cut this if you don't, if you're only going to make one, just cut it open. But I'm going to try to save mine. This is soapy water. I'm just going to put some water down in there. Might help, might not. I might be cutting mine open too. Not sure. I don't usually use these, so I don't know what to expect. So I'm just going to kind of work it in. Sometimes I take a butter knife, which I forgot to bring one in, and go around the whole seal, which I'm going to go grab one. So just go all the way around if you can, and just loosen the seal all the way down. Get the water to go in. I usually do this over my sink if I have to with my other molds. So I don't have a sink in this room. I may be leaving the room to finish what I started here, but I'm just giving you kind of a general idea of how I loosen them up. I'll put this down here to catch any water. Just kind of wiggle it out, I hope. I feel it moving. It's difficult when you have deeper ones. Just trying to work it here. I think I'm going to go to my kitchen sink and get this out. I'll be right back. So that was the trick. I just took my knife and I went around a couple of times and it was really loose. And then when I flipped it over, it came right out. So there is a way to save them if you want them. And here it is. And here's the bottom of the glass. So we're just going to kind of work the glass out. This one's going to be a little harder too because of the way that it's shaped. Actually, this one might have to be split because of the stem. I didn't think about the stem. mean, the silicone is soft, but it's not that soft. I'm just kind of pushing it out. It's hard for that cup part because it's got silicone on the inside to pop out because it's got its seal on there. That's coming. So this might be a difficult one to unmold, but we shall see. If worst case scenario, we split it, then you use a rubber band and you use the rubber band to mold it too. It'll just self-seal that area. I put some soapy water down inside of it, so that is definitely helping. But again, the cup top is bigger than the bottom, so I have a feeling I will be slicing this one. I don't think there's any way around slicing this one, to be honest with you. I have never done a cup before. Of course, I chose a video to do it on. Yeah, I'm gonna slice it open, you guys. Well, before I sliced it, I went and got my knife. Before I sliced it, I gave it one more shot off camera and it popped right out of there. So I guess the soapy water helped. So that is it. So this is wet inside. I do want to cast one with you, but now I have to wait for it to dry. I'm just going to take my little cuticle thingy, trimmer, whatever you call it, and trim around this edge. Get all that extra silicone off around the edge. And wait for this to dry, and then we'll make one. We'll just make a simple one, just little transparent cup. See how it turns out. See how the mold works. And that'll be it for today. I'm excited to see how hard it is to get a resin one out. It really wasn't bad with the soapy water in there, but definitely any 3D mold, you're going to need soapy water because that part is bigger than this part. But that's just mine. I mean, whatever you mold may not be like that. All right, so let me wait for this to dry. Are you guys ready to test this mold and see what it's going to do for us? I mixed up 2 ounces of my casting resin. And I changed my mind 6 times as I've been mixing this for 5 minutes about what I'm going to do. I was going to do it clear with some of my crushed crystal that I haven't used for a while. And then I realized clear is going to have bubbles. And I'm going to end up curing it quick because I won't be able to wait. And then all the bubbles will be in there and I'll be mad. And then I'm like, well, okay, I will do a pigment paste. And then I'm like, oh, what color pigment paste? Do I want this little crystal glass? And I couldn't decide on a color. So I'm like, okay, how about a glitter so I can mask all the bubbles I just created in here? And I couldn't decide which glitter. And then if I would have to use glue to suspend it or not. And then I remembered that I had these. These are the holographic glitters. This one is in black from Let's Resin. I think I'm going to try to mix this into there and see what happens. I might even put some of that crushed crystal, this crushed crystal in there with it. Let me get a little spoon here. I don't know. I haven't mixed this in resin before. I usually brush it onto my molds. So I think because it's so fine, not only will it pigment it, but it will also glitter it, which looks like I'm right. Oh, but that's kind of, I need a little more. So the question is, do I add any of that sparkle dust, diamond dust, whatever, crushed crystal, whatever it's called? That is the, I don't even know if you'll see it in here. I guess it won't matter if you don't see it. So I don't think that's going to sink because it's so fine, but it's still kind of clear. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. It's just an experiment. It doesn't even matter. I got to keep telling myself it does not matter. Okay, I'm just going to dip a little bit on the end and see if I can even see it in the resin. I don't think we are going to see it in here. I'll try one more little bit and then I'm going to forget it. So I don't really think you're going to see that in here. It's too dark. So this is almost going to be a transparent glitter. So I guess that's good too. All right, let's see what we're going to do. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to stop bubbles along the edge of this. I wonder if I can, I'm just going to squish it around. I guess I'll pour a little bit in. I don't know how much it's going to take, so I'll pour some in, squish it around, fill it up. If this fills it up, I don't know. And pray we can get it out. I don't see why we won't. It'll just be like, I'll just need some soapy water again. I hope. I'm just going to squish it around again. Yeah, this is plenty. So maybe 1.5 ounces. I will make something out of the extra. All right, let me find something to do with this and I will be back when it's cured. It is cured, it's ready to unmold, but before we do that, I'm going to show you the extras I made with the black holographic glitter. Here's a pair of earrings. They came out really pretty. I just top coated them with some UV resin to get a nice shine on the front. Then I got 3 pendants out of them. I made this one. So I took a little open bezel and I filled it with some UV resin for his shell. And then I placed him on top and UV resined over him and cured him. There's one. And then I did a starfish. And I made a large pendant, same idea, an open bezel, filled his shell, but I made some bubbles coming out from him with some white UV resin. So those were super cute. And then one other thing I'm going to show you that's new to the eBay store. If you haven't been on for a while, go back and take a look. I have 2 new inlays to show you. This one is going to be a set of 10. So there's going to be 10 of these little flowers. So you can put these in whatever your project is going to be. And then I have some sea life. And this is going to be a set of 6, and you'll get one of each of the following. You're going to get a lobster, a starfish, a seashell, a seahorse, a scallop, and a crab. So you will get a set of 6 of these for the set. So look for those. I will link them below as well. So yeah, go take a look. I got so many different inlays. And some for Valentine's Day coming up. I'm going to do a project soon. I have these large heart inlays. There's a set of 4. This one has polka dots. This one is plain. And this one has some insets. And then you'll get a 4th one of a random, whether it might be polka dots, it might be another one of these, or it might be another one of these. So I wanted to make sure you had 4. So I'm not sure which 2 will be duplicate in your particular package, but these will be available. I also have a set of 10 small hearts that I've shown you multiple times that you can use for Valentine's Day. So all that stalling because I don't know how this is going to come out. So let's spray some soapy water down in there. And let me move all this jewelry first. I don't need it getting all wet. All right. I'm going to put plenty in there because it did come out pretty easily. The glass one did, once I got enough in there. So I'm just gonna squish it around. Open it up and squirt some more. Yeah, once I got it wet enough yesterday, it kind of just popped right out. This one's coming. I'm squirting water everywhere. Hang on, I gotta use my body. Okay, here we go. All right, it was a little hard. You have to get plenty of soapy water in there. Otherwise, you would have to split the mold. But look at how cute that is. It's adorable. Nice and shiny. Just need to dry it off. Grab a paper towel, wipe it all down, see what we got. I do need to trim the bottom a little bit from the edge. But you can see the glitter in it. What do you think, you guys? Now you know how to make a mold and how to use a mold. So I hope you learned something today. If you want to try it, get all the supplies. I linked all the supplies in the description box for you. A little bit of glitter came out of here. And yeah, go start making some molds, you guys. I hope you guys all have a blessed day. Stay tuned. I'll get you some final pictures. Bye.